Genesis 19. The destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. That evening, the two angels arrived in Sodom, and Lot was sitting at the city's gateway. When he saw them, he rose to meet them and bowed with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please come to your servant's house. Wash your feet, spend the night, and then continue your journey early in the morning." But they replied, "No, we will spend the night in the square." However, Lot urged them strongly, so they turned aside and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking unleavened bread, and they ate. Before they lay down to sleep, the men of the city, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called out to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we may know them." Lot stepped outside, closing the door behind him, and said, "Please, my brothers, do not act so wickedly. Look, I have two daughters who have never known a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you may do to them as you please. But do not harm these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of our way." They replied, "This man came here as a foreigner, and now he dares to judge us. We will treat you worse than them." Then they pressed hard against Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the angels reached out, pulled Lot inside, and shut the door. Then they struck the men at the entrance, both young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. The angels said to Lot, "Do you have anyone else here, sons, daughters, sons-in-law, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of this place, because we are about to destroy it. The outcry against its people has reached the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went to speak to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and leave this place, for the Lord is about to destroy the city." But they thought he was joking. At dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the city's punishment." When he hesitated, the angels took hold of his hand, his wife's hand, and his daughter's hands, and led them out safely, for the Lord had mercy on them. As soon as they were outside, one of the angels said, "Run for your lives. Do not look back or stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away." But Lot replied, "No, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown me great kindness in saving my life. But I cannot flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I will die. Look, there's a small town nearby. Let me flee there. It is only a little place, and my life will be spared." "Very well," the angel said, "I grant this request. I will not destroy the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I can do nothing until you arrive." That is why the town was called Zor. As Lot reached Zor, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down sulfur and fire from heaven on Sodom and Gomorrah. He overthrew those cities, the entire plain, all the inhabitants, and everything growing in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Early the next morning, Abraham went to the place where he had stood before the Lord. Looking down towards Sodom and Gomorrah, he saw smoke rising from the land, like the smoke of a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Lot and his daughters. Lot and his two daughters left Zor and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zor. They lived in a cave. One day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there are no men around to marry us, as is the custom of the land. Let's get our father to drink wine and sleep with him so that we can preserve our family line." That night, they got their father drunk, and the older daughter went in and lay with him. He was unaware of when she lay down or when she got up. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night, I slept with our father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and then you go in and sleep with him so that we may preserve our family line." So they got their father drunk again that night, and the younger daughter went in and lay with him. Again, he was unaware of when she lay down or when she got up. Thus, both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter gave birth to a son and named him Moab. He became the father of the Moabites. The younger daughter also had a son and named him Ben-Ammi. He became the father of the Ammonites.